Hey friends, happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a peaceful and loving and kind sort of day. It's the middle of the week, and it's nice to know that Friday's on the way and the weekend's coming. I'm putting a couple of new journals in my shop. These are big girl journals. They are 5 pounds, and I just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger with the journals, and I love the way that these turned out. Have no idea if I'll ever do them again because they're just so gigantic, and of course being giant like this, they took a lot of time, but boy are they chock full of fun stuff for you. Let's take a look at these. These journals are $50. I am not sure about postage on them. They will have to go in like a priority mail box instead, of course, of an envelope or anything like that. Yeah, that's just not going to fit. But I'm trying to find out, the easiest and best and cheapest shipping for you guys. So that's kind of my mission, to find out the best way to get these to you. This little big journal features a handmade boho bead right here. I don't have any more boho beads, so I'm going to be making some more of these. This is just probably one of my favorite things to do. Really love that craft. I'm going to take the, and the reason that I'm doing an additional binding on these is because I have to almost press them down and then tie them with some, in this case I'm using some embroidered lace. But let's have a look in here. You gotta turn it on its side. This has a beautiful little filigree flower on the front. And let's take a peek, see what we can see. Alright, we start out with a pocket, and in the pocket there are some ATC cards and some cutouts from a calendar. Of course, everything is detachable. If you do not want to detach from your flow journal, just remember to go through here and tack things down with some Aleene's or whatever glue you choose. The first signature, I love this paper. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And it's a little loosely bound just because it's so big. The first signature has a gold, shiny gold paper on it, a butterfly, a frame, a postcard, and some more ephemera down here. And of course, has a hairy paper clip. The first pocket has some Project Life cards, some things that I cut out from magazines. I've kind of gotten into the cutting images from magazines because some of them are just so stellar, and I love the paper of magazines too. There's a lot you can do with that. It's just a little color element for you. A little glittery daisy right here. Some tabs, and then right here I have tied in a bag of elements for you to play with, and then there are, I think these came from a planner pack. I never quite got into the planning thing. These are some beautiful bird plates from a book. They're just absolutely remarkable. Vintage book plates. There's a vintage Christmas card here for you. This is a little card I made from some cutouts when I was couponing. It says, "Make today amazing." More small Project Life cards. This is a sewn element. One of my friends gave this to me. One of her friends makes this sewn paper. It's just beautiful. We got some text pages, paper for you to play with. More cards. I love these Christmas cards, these vintage Christmas cards, because they're signed. I think that's super neat. All Alright, and here is the back of the first signature. You've got some ATCs to play with, paper to play with, letters to play with. I think this is maybe a Tim Holtz thing, I can't remember. And then the last pocket has vintage postcards, also has travel brochures from Virginia and other places in it. A sweet little bird that my friend made. I'm crazy about these birds. Look, it's staff paper on one side and white on the other. I just love it. I just think it's so pretty, so pretty. And there's a vintage postcard in here that does have some birds on a wire for you to play with as well. This is this is sunflower and a foam message pad. I like vintage elements that have to do with business, you know, like ledger sheets, notepads, anything vintage, check registers, just the things that we just don't use anymore. So the second signature is here. Again, some lovely paper, some nice washi tape for you to play with. This is a vintage postcard that features a bride. Another vintage postcard. And some elements that I cut from a calendar. And more vintagey goodness down here. I love this bronze paper. And I tied that in with some black lace. Of course, you got lots and lots of hairy paper clips. Vintage bingo card. This is the kind of elements that I was talking about. This is a weekly time record. You know, when you used to log in your time, it reminds me of, you know, the jobs that I've been working since I was 14. So I've always had to keep some sort of time record, you know, when you're young, and this isn't one of those things where you punch in and punch out. This is like an actual physical, you're going to write this down. This card is an altered greeting card, and I did a whole video about altering greeting cards, and I would like to thank you guys for all of the views of that. I think we're up to 8,500 on that, and that's super nice. Thank you, thank you. Another vintage book plate. This one features ducks. I have a greeting card right here. Anytime you see a greeting card, you can pull that greeting card out and use it. More elements here. This is a frame element. This is the cover of a magazine that I thought was really interesting. It's a guy and a sled and a sweet little doggy here. Paper for you to play with. The little pockets here that have some vintage ephemera in them. Some text pages. I like for you guys to have a scrap or two of fabric. I think that really adds to the whole fun of the flow journal. And this is a photograph of Libby Custer. This is an envelope, a handmade envelope, and it's got goodies inside. We've got a photo pocket right here, and it's got ATCs, a very pretty image of some daisies in glass. I think that's so pretty. Got negatives here, and this is a piece of a photograph. I think pieces of old photographs are very, very interesting. In this case, it had a cool shadow on it. This is some photograph paper. Remember when we were printing our own photographs, and we would go to the store and we would buy glossy paper to print our photographs on. From the altered greeting card, I made pockets right here, a pocket right here, so I've got elements stuck in the pocket. This is something that I cut from an old magazine. I love this. This says the energy of the mind is the essence of life, and this is a brad, and it says family. I've got some button stickers here for you, and a needle book sticker here for you. A lot of what goes in here are sewing elements. So we have these stickers, we have some buttons here, and an old bag. More stickers here for you. A book that has a pattern scrapbooking paper on the front and the back. This is a vintage pattern. Gosh, I remember when my mom used to make my clothes, you know, and she always had these patterns laying about. So there we go. I'll put all this back in here. And I also thought that the washi tape went really well with this too, as it's a tape measure washi tape. More beautiful fabric. My friend Donna sent me a whole bunch of stuff, and this, for some reason or another, it reminds me of Jane Austen. It's got a gold thread through it. It's very elegant. And then I've got some, these are like stick-on beads. That's a half bead right there. And here we are in this signature. Love the way that this page turned out. You got your doggy, and there's some textured paper and cards and things to play with back here. This is a nice transparency paper, text pages, paper. The paper in this book is so big, and I mean the book is huge, right? But the paper is so big that you can just take out paper elements and play and play and play with them. We've got some tags here. This is a skinny book. ATCs right here. This entire page is like a pocket page where you can slide things in and out. Got a feather in this one of my homemade handmade feathers. This is a Secret Soto project. These are little books, and I love the Legends of Hollywood, which is Humphrey Bogart back here. So we've got a lot of ephemera and travel brochures as well back here. Again, I love these books because it's fun to like play with them if you want to play with them. You can take out one signature, like take out a whole signature and make this like a little travel journal for yourself. And that's an excellent way to use a flow journal, you know, just break it apart. Of course, people really don't want to break them apart and want to keep them as is, and that's cool too. But if you want to break it apart, then that's cool. We've got cards here, some elements from a calendar, some music paper, another vintage Christmas card. This one has the actual satin ribbon still on it. Chinese newspaper, a lunch bag, text pages, a greeting card. Again, you can use this greeting card as is. The greeting card I made into a pocket, so you could slide a note for your loved one in here. Just drop that in the mail. This is a hidden pocket. It's got some elements in here for you. This pocket features a wooden element that I've put on some twine so you can make your own necklace. A lot of sweet stuff in this little pocket for you to play with. This is some original art that I did in Atlanta when I had like minimal supplies. I did a, if I can get her out of here. Yeah, she's a clown and she says smile. Uh-oh, everything else came out. And vintage postcards, more cutouts from calendars. Okay, now we are at the last signature. This one has a brad on it that says friends and tags for you to play with. More tags for you to play with, more vintage, wildlife papers. A greeting card, paper, transparencies, some beautiful embossed paper, and another one of those 4-pocket holders with tags for you to play with. And of course, always in the back, I love this right here. Just thought that was so cool to cut that from a magazine, and I thought it went really well with that blue paper right here, so I put those together for you. And of course, in the back, you're always going to have a little cellophane bag full of goodies to play with. All right, and I'm going to try and get these in my shop probably tomorrow or maybe Friday. Not quite sure yet how my schedule is going to be for getting them in the shop. And I will tie that back on there in just a minute. Okay, now the other big girl journal features again a lace closure, along with the other closure, of course, and a boho bead. This one's a little bit easier to open. No filigree on this one. And here we go. Oops. We've got a frame, a couple butterflies, a pocket right here. These are some planner items if you're into that kind of thing. This little pocket signature just turned out really pretty. It's got all kinds of blue elements in it. This is some handmade paper. I came across this paper several months ago and I was really shocked. The price tag on it was $18 for a piece of paper. A piece of paper. But it's so pretty, guys. It's just the most beautiful color of blue. It's got gold embellishments on it. So pretty. I've got some little flowers for you to play with. These are stickers. Tabs for you to play with, and of course a vintage postcard. Lots of beauty here, folks. This is a stamp. This is a postcard. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not a postcard. This is something I cut from a calendar. This says Rosie's Diner on it and has some old cards from the 50s. Another 4-section pocket right here. Card and with a brad that says friends. I love that. It says stop and smell the flowers. This is a pocket with a dress form in it. I don't think it's all gonna, yep. There we go. Is that not exquisite? One of my friends made this. I just think it's so cool. All right. We're almost finished with the first signature. Here's a napkin for you to play with, some glossy paper, a little piece of note paper that says, guess what I did today? And some travel brochures. I have a tag for you to play with. This is from one of my first tutorials where I took the glossy paper and I cut it into a bookmark size, and by using alcohol inks and the stuff that you use to dye eggs at Easter, Easter egg dye, you know, what am I trying to say? The egg dye stuff, colored, food coloring. Gosh, food coloring. Oh, food coloring. I could distress the tags, so I'll put one of those in here for you. Got tags for you to play with. This is a conversation bubble, text bubble. This is a transparency that says fairy tales can come true, and it's on a map, an old map of the world. Some elements in a bag for you to play with. And some glittery paper. I like glittery paper. This is a book. Just a small micro notebook, I think they call them. Some fabric and a beautiful little heart that I think this is linen, but I'm not good with my fabric, y'all. I'm not quite sure exactly what that is. This is some handmade paper, some vintage ephemera, more handmade paper, text pages. Oh, got a little. Oh, this is a cellophane envelope that's in one of these pockets. Some of the frames. Love these frames. And a vintage bingo card. And some other things for you to play with here. I love the Geisha Girl washi tape. Cool. Stickers. I love this. This is almost like paper lace. I've used that in some mixed media building projects. There's more ephemera and things for you to play with here. An old ledger sheet. We've got a vintage Christmas card. Another bingo card. Calendar elements. Chinese newspaper. This one says, "Where were you in 1977?" Ooh, that was a long time ago. I think I had just gotten married in 1977. My first marriage. Some fish and butterflies. More texture paper for you to play with. And the little doggy jumping out of a pocket here with some extra things in it. We got a binder clip up here with lots of hairy elements going on. More planner goodies for you. Another one of those little birds. Just love those things. A glitter transparency. More paper. Elements cut from magazines and a black and white photo here. Cut from a magazine as well. Got some birds. Whoops. Bird stickers. Those are vintage bird stickers. I like the way that this last signature really came together. I've got a dress form here, button stickers here, a dress pattern back here. And I love this particular signature. It just came out really, really pretty. This is a dashboard that I made for a planner. Got lots of vintage elements back here. We're almost to the end. Put in a gold feather for you. I love this image on the postcard. And of course in the back you've got some vintage playing cards and other goodies in that little clear plastic bag. Okay guys, I really so much appreciate you hanging out with me and checking out my journals, and I appreciate all of your incredible support, y'all. It just means so much. Thank you for all that you do for me and for helping me help my son who is recuperating from bilateral hip replacement. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.